Exciting, exciting.
But please, you start off today. What is your predictions for the story?
Hey, bro, these probably the hardest predictions we're gonna do. As to be honest, I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna invest 50% of my stocks into your title of Joy Boy. I actually like how that was sounding,
Yeah,
and because of the Arthur thing, I rate that. So I'm gonna 50%. It might go through that path. I'm gonna go another 50% that is gonna be an inherited will, and that he'll just get certain characteristics of maybe Joy Boy that will be inherited with the fruit. Maybe that
yeah.
is my other 50%.
Okay, what
And
about the actual chapter? Like, what's gonna happen next chapter? What do you
so
think is
well,
gonna
I
happen?
think we will get whatever that conclusion is of whatever Luffy is. I think we'll finally get to see Luffy's form,
Hmm.
and then um Zanisha and Momonosuke are gonna have a lot more dialogue, and he's gonna explain maybe some more key moments of the
Yeah,
differences between maybe Joy Boy now and Joy Boy then, and what similarities he feels between the two. And then I think we will get the eventual Luffy getting up, and then Kaido and Luffy finally seeing each other. And I believe Kaido will be shocked, and it will start his backstory. That is my
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah, bro. Oh my god, oh my god. Like you said, I think next chapter what happens is that we get Luffy coming back up.
Hmm.
Hopefully he's not reincarnated or his body's not taken over by Joe Boy and it's just a
Yep.
title and he's
Yep.
just awakened, right?
Hmm.
But he has, because of the fact that the energy is similar to Joy Boy because of the fruit and that's how it ties them together. Um, then we'll get more explanations or rather a confirmation from Zunisha that Joy Boy used to have the Gomu Gomu no Mi as his devil fruit. And then we'll maybe have a slight clash, a slight. Ooh, wait. With I just realized this with the fact that the entire Onigashima is burning down in flames and all this stuff. What Luffy's fruit might probably just turn everything to rubber and
You really think so?
somehow engulf the
Save them
flames.
and engulf the flames? Hmm.
Yeah, and make sure everything is fine. That's how it might happen.
Mm,
Now that
mm.
I'm thinking about it, because Oda essentially removed the option of water. So
Yeah.
what else besides Luffy's ability to affect the entire
Like
island the
environment and
same
stuff
way?
to be
Because
able
the
to save
fact is, we didn't expect even Kaido to be able to lift an entire island by himself with his clouds. So the fact that Devil Fruits can now do this and it's established, why the heck not can Luffy do that?
them.
And
Hmm.
with the way that we saw the panel, that final panel, and Luffy's like body like kind of transforming into
Melting.
like this
Yeah.
goop, it wasn't melting downwards. It was like
It was
affecting
going
gravity.
upwards.
Yeah, it was going
Yeah.
up, so it
Yeah.
could still like keep it in the air while it's affected that way. That's oh yeah, that could happen. I didn't think about that till now. Um, but yeah, as you said, um, the everybody probably is gonna recognize that something is affecting the island, and then realize it's Luffy. Kaido goes back to try and fight him. They
Yeah.
maybe fight in a different location. Either Kaido goes back up to the rooftop, or Luffy goes down with a quickness and finds him, and then fights, and everybody reacts and realizes it's Luffy and everything like that. And then we get into Kaido's backstory. We really
Yep.
need a backstory for Kaido.
I
Although
yeah.
Oda could do it in a different way. He might end the fight and then we go into a
Do the
backstory of
backstory.
Kaido after he gets beaten by Luffy.
Let's to be honest, I think with the way we
I
saw,
wouldn't like that, but
I think the backstory is set up nicely for next
yeah,
chapter.
it's really set up really well right
Because legit, you can get the Kaido's first shock of seeing Luffy.
now. Yeah,
Maybe he gets some nostalgia. He thinks something back, and then we get the, oh, this reminds me of the time, and then we got like, I feel like we're setting such a perfect time to unleash the Kaido backstory right now. But hey, uh, Oda be throwing curveballs, so you really never know. You really, really never
But
know.
no, but okay, you do make sense because with the level of knowledge that Kaido has about Joy Boy, which was
Mhm.
surprising, we
Yeah,
really didn't know that he knew this
he had
level
that
knowledge of
knowledge. Yep,
Kaido, of
yep,
Joy Boy, sorry. But with the fact that that is also a significant part, we could find out a little bit more about Joy Boy through the eyes
of
of
Kaido.
Kaido
Yep,
instead of just Zunisha. But you'll get also a
exactly.
little
You get
bit
two
more from
perspectives.
yeah,
100%, 100%, 100%. And
yeah.
then
So
it'll
it
even
makes
give
sense.
more clarity to why even King had adorations of why Kaido was joyful. It ties into so many potential storylines, which we can conclude from the King perspective to Kaido to even Zunisha, and get a little bit more information on the whole Joy Boy situation. So I agree with you completely.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. I'm in so much pain right now, but the fact that we have 2 weeks before we can even find out any more about what's gonna happen.
Listen,
Oda.
he dropped off with a leak cliffhanger. I can't lie to you. That was 10 out of 10 order because you listen. People are gonna be talking about this for the next 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks will end up flying by because everyone's gonna be like making videos. You're gonna be watching videos, watching the same thing. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be crazy.
eh,
You're gonna hear a lot of stupid takes though. There are gonna be a lot of bad conspiracy takes. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a
I've
lot
been
of bad
reading
ones.
them on Reddit
Yeah, Twitter. I've seen
and
so many on Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Whoa,
goodness. Oh
wow,
my
wow,
goodness.
wow,
It's crazy.
wow.
It's crazy.
No, but it's
People be
part of the
like,
fun.
"Oh, nah, nah." Some of them are dumb. It's like some of them are like, "Oh, why is Luffy gonna be going through this? This is a shonen. Why the like, brother? Do they forget that Luffy's supposed to be the Pirate King? I feel like people don't want him to be the Pirate King. There are
I
genuine
think
people who don't want
I
him.
think they hate it because of the fact that it's kind of been like a really huge trope in all shonens, like all big
Mhm.
shonens that we've had.
Yes.
Goku with the Super Saiyan stuff, like there was some
Yeah.
lore about it before
Yeah.
it even happened that
It's before it
he
happened.
Goku was the
100%.
first one, and like every time like there's a big bad, it's Goku that's always the one meant to fight him, like the
Hmm.
strongest
Hmm.
person.
Hmm.
In Naruto, it was like between him and Sasuke being like
Well,
reincarnations of like the two
the two
brothers
things.
like
Yeah, it's
yeah
basically
for
inherited
the
wealth. The
Sage of Six
reincarnations.
Paths,
Yeah.
with Ichigo and the inner hollows and all that
Yeah.
stuff, him
Let's
being
not talk
like
about Bleach.
yeah, okay,
I'm a
like
hater. I'm a hater.
I haven't even read Bleach that much, but I know from that
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that like every time there's been something
Don't waste
related
your
to
time.
inherited
It's a
will,
mid.
yeah, but like here's the thing that people forget
Yeah,
from the beginning of the story. It has essentially been put into play that Luffy is
Luffy is going
destined
to be there.
to
Yes.
go on this incredible journey and achieve incredible things. And, he's a special kind of person. When we finally enter the Grand Line and he first meets Crocus, there is Crocus telling us about Luffy and how he had this weird aura about him. And, people took it as a throwaway line where they're like, "Oh, it's the characteristic of the main character. He's supposed to be like this, where he's supposed to be peculiar in some way," and he is. But like, this has been written so well and built up for so long,
It
you know.
can't be your ass. Yes,
It
hundred
can
percent.
be an asshole,
Yes,
and like,
yes.
I just have so maybe it's just the optimist in me that believes in order so much because he hasn't like steered me wrong, even when
Yo, he has
I'm
credit. He
not
has more than
sure.
enough credit in the bank. More than enough. He's good. He's good. I think to even build on that, and I apologize if I cut you off, but I think like unhappy with it being a standard shonen show. But I understand that because obviously I think that's what separates the very good shonens compared to the other shonens. But similarly, like you said with the journey, how you get to that is just as important. If you get through that for a consistent means, it doesn't feel like an asshole, and you're enjoying the journey. I don't see why people have reservations with it. I understand that the trope may be overused, but there are similar themes that are always going to be prevalent in a shonen. Similar to like an action movie, are always going to have similar themes that are always going to be prevalent. It's just how you differentiate to those end goals, in my opinion, is what changes how good a shonen is, in my opinion. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
my conclusion.
I mean, it's a cliche, but the thing is, not all cliches have to be bad.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
on your execution for it. One thing about Oda is that despite all the little tidbits of annoyance that we have about certain tropes that he puts into his story, one thing Oda has is a plan. He knows what his end goal is. How he's getting there has just been the most creative thing. Every time he has put a cliche within his stories, he has twisted it in his own way, his own creative way. He knows about cliches. He doesn't like I wouldn't say he doesn't like them. He just believes in creatively using them, you know? Um what was the quote? Um Something about great artists steal, right? I'm paraphrasing. I think that's the last part of it. I wish I got the quote. When I get the quote, I'm just gonna put it like
Put
a
it
little
that.
bit
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
text. And by who it was. I don't know if it was by Da Vinci or Michelangelo, but he was like, great artists steal. Essentially meaning that you take what others have created and you put it in your own twist. You make it your own. And I believe Oda is making it his own. But to say that, oh, it hasn't been built up that way, like, oh, Luffy has
You
always been working hard to like get
They
where
just
he
haven't paid
is.
attention to the story.
No,
They
that's
haven't
not,
paid attention to the story. Yeah. I
that's
can't
not
lie to you. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
completely not true because Luffy
yeah.
from the beginning has always had, like, whether it has been what we think is normal luck, he has been like built up where it's been built up to a point where they've said that he is destined to do this in a particular way. Oda has been hinting at this, and it's just been heavier within this arc because we're towards the end game. We're not back there in like War 7 or Skypiea and all that stuff. We're not in the build up. We're in the end game, and this is beautiful to watch. This is
No,
so
100%.
beautiful.
I
But
hundred
I'm
percent
like,
agree.
wow, wow. I'm just thinking about all this stuff. Like, there's so much. Ah, man. I wish I got the exact lyrics to Bink Sake and that how that related to Luffy because it makes so much sense. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably link the video for BDA. But
No,
doesn't
go,
BDA
go, go.
like he has already so many subscribers and all that stuff and views. Like I'm sure so many people, but I'll link it anyways because it was kind
Jeez.
of from him and like
Yeah,
overall discussions within the community. Um, they were talking about that Bink Sake point and like how it relates to this, how it relates to Joy Boy, but we didn't know until now.
hundred
And
percent.
one other cool thing that I found out was that actually the Drums of Liberation was a title for a book about slaves,
Oh, it makes sense. Listen,
and it makes
obviously,
sense.
it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, the whole liberating. That's what Luffy's been basically doing, going saving kingdoms, saving people who are enslaved, etc. And if obviously Joy Boy had a bigger connection to the world government, it would make even more sense with what we know the world government does in Mergeois, and obviously with the Celestial Dragon. So yeah, I think it would be a good indication to be honest.
Jesus, this has been so crazy. This has been
Mm.
so crazy. I don't know. Wow. All right, I think that's enough for now. I think we'll have another discussion like within the week
Yeah,
or
we can
another
talk about
video
some theories or some
of
shit.
some
Yeah, fam.
about some crazy theories. What are the funniest shit that we've seen so far on the timeline?
Yeah, on Twitter and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
I'm
so
coming
cool.
for your asses. Just know that if you said something dumb, I'm coming for you. Cause yo, oh my goodness, you're lucky. Cause I wanted to respond to people, but I'm like, I know too many people will be like, oh, spoilers. So I'm like, I'll allow you. I'll allow
Yeah,
you.
just allow it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for
Thank you
coming
for
by.
watching. Yes,
Um,
sir.
I don't know. I don't usually do the normal YouTube stuff like subscribe, all that stuff. I just put it at the
Yeah, drop a
card down
like,
below.
drop a subscribe, drop a
I
comment,
don't
all of
know.
that. Come on now,
Be
jeez.
nice. All right.